Sports presents AT&T at the half. Singular is now the new AT&T.
After 20 minutes of play, the score in the 2007 National Championship game, Florida leading Ohio State by 11, 40-29. A year ago, Florida led at halftime by 11. Welcome to AT&T at the half. Greg Gumbel along with Clark Kellogg and Seth Davis, the man we were talking about at the very top of the day. Greg Oden of Ohio State, let's start with him.
Well, the big man on the marquee has certainly delivered to this point, Greg. He's been terrific. He's only picked up one foul, so he's been able to stay on the floor. And when he does that, he's able to impact the game at both ends. Defensively, he'll block shots, he'll change shots. Offensively, he's been very productive. 5 of 9 from the floor. He's got 11 points. He's got 7 boards. He's been very active. He's done his part to this point, and again, only one foul going into the second half. On the other side, though, it's been the stat sheet stuffer supreme. Corey Brewer splashing threes. Not only does he make shots, but this kid at 6'9" makes plays that very few players in college basketball can make. He combines that size and length with excellent speed and a never-say-die motor. Brewer and Spates, in addition to Noah Horford and Richard, have all defended Oden, and I think they've worn him down a little bit. They fatigued him some despite not putting up big numbers offensively.
And on the flip side, a very quiet first half for Mike Conley Jr. Got off to a pretty good start, got out in transition, which is where he is most effective, but he only has 4 points because he picked up that second foul, never really got back in the flow when he came into the game. He does have 3 assists, including 1 here to Matt Terwilliger, but how about this? 0 free throws. In fact, Ohio State only shot 2 free throws the whole first half. Florida 8 for 10 from the foul line. That's a huge difference. And I talked about Florida's defense in the pregame. Doesn't get enough credit, but how about this? Ohio State has committed 6 turnovers in the first half. Florida 12 points off turnovers. They have converted every single turnover. And here's Clark Sky, well on his way to being the Final Four most outstanding player. Corey Brewer, Ohio State is not shooting well from the three-point line. Ron Lewis has yet to make a three-pointer in the Final Four. He came into the Final Four as their leading scorer. If Ohio State doesn't make threes, they cannot win.
As we look ahead to the second half, there is no question they're getting their shots.
They are getting shots. They've got to knock them down, but it's much easier said than done when you think about how good Florida is defensively. And Corey Brewer has defended just about everybody the Buckeyes have had on the floor at some point.
Well, they said it was critical to stop Mike Conley from penetrating. That's what they've done. They switched behind the screens, and that's really the weakness of Ohio State is their outside shooting. Like I said, Ron Lewis has got to show up in the second half. If they're going down tonight, Ron Lewis, he has to go down shooting.
When they're leading at halftime this year, the Florida Gators are 27-0. We remind you, the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship takes place tomorrow in Cleveland. Rutgers will play Tennessee for the title on ESPN. Up next, Dick Enberg joins us with some first-hand observations about March Madness as AT&T at the half rolls on from Atlanta here on CBS. Welcome back to AT&T at the half. Our halftime score in the 2007 National Championship game. Florida leads Ohio State 40-29. College basketball history was made here in Atlanta last night. Kevin Durant of Texas became the first freshman ever to win the AT&T Naismith Trophy for the Men's College Basketball Player of the Year. The Big 12 Player of the Year averaged more than 25 points and 11 rebounds a game and was the only player to rank in the top 10 nationally in both scoring and rebounding. Durant received his honor last night from Mark LaFar, the Chief Marketing Officer, AT&T Wireless Services.
AT&T is proud to be an NCAA corporate champion, as well as the presenting partner with the Atlanta Tip-Off Club for the 2007 Naismith Trophy, the most prestigious award in college basketball.
First, I would like to thank everybody associated with the Naismith Award. I want to thank my mom, my grandmother, my father, Coach Barnes, for everything they've done for me to support. My Coach Springman over there, assistant coach. And I also want to like to thank my teammates back at Texas. It's a blessing, man, and it humbles me, so thank you.
Our congratulations to a classy young man, Kevin Durant, on an outstanding season as he joins the other great winners of this historic award. Our distinguished colleague, Dick Enberg, who's celebrating his 50th year in broadcasting, joins us now to share some of his unique perspective on this March Madness.
A lot of madness and so little time to review, Greg. Thank you. Well, as we near the climax of another great college basketball season, it is a chance to reflect upon the anatomy of the tournament, specifically the hands, basketball hands, that have expressed a broad range from extraordinary skills to nonverbal communication. Oh, so many hands welcome the Final Four competition. Hands will complete the full circle of this handsome season in less than an hour. We've marveled at the magical rhythms they've produced. So soft, yet so bold. There were little hands passing the test of trajectory in a game's mathematics where 2 hands equals 3. Where defenses featured quicksilver hands answering the battle cry, all hands on deck. They pounded on Soul's door as we saw old friends go hand to hand. And master hands stirring memories of championships past. Connected with today's hand-me-down DNA. Hands-on advice never hurts. And but for his Hoyas, we'd include a hands bro. Hands once again did orchestrate unity, stability, mobility, direction, empathy, penalty, pain, passion, and finality. So as we count down to the climax with a healthy handspring, let's get the carpals clapping with a final salute for the 2 special handmade teams. At hour's end, one will earn college basketball's ultimate upper hand. Despite this digital world, there is the 20 minutes on the hands of time. And Greg, you gotta hand it to Florida that first half.
What a handy little piece, Dick. Thank you very much. Let's look ahead to the second half, guys. We talk every once in a while back in the studio about how the odds catch up with you. Ohio State, horrible from behind a 3. If you're Thad Matta, don't you tell them to keep shooting because the odds are going to catch up?
Without question, the second half for Ohio State is about frees and threes. Florida has outscored their opponents in 5.5 games in this tournament by 65 points at the foul line. The Buckeyes got to make threes, and they've got to try to win the free throw game in the second half.
And I think that's the mindset. I think you have to throw caution to the wind here. They got to halftime with Greg Oden only with 1 foul. Terrific. You got to take risks. You got to go for steals. You got to try to drive to the basket. You got to foul guys when they go to the rim, and you got to launch those threes. Now is not the time to be cautious. You're not playing for tomorrow. They have to take risks, of course. The risk that you take there is you get punished on the other end. Florida's awfully, awfully good.
Ohio State shooting 2 of 12 from behind the arch tonight. They're 37% on the season. Thank you for watching AT&T at the half. Jim and Billy are back with the second half right after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Sports presents AT&T at the half. Singular is now the new AT&T. CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the men's national championship game is sponsored by Warner Brothers The Reaping, Mercedes-Benz, Bud Light, and by State Farm.
Sharpshooting Gators 6 out of 9 from 3 in that first half. And again, welcome back to the national title game. Friends, Jim Nance here with Billy Packer, and Last year, when it was Florida UCLA, Billy, the lead was 11 at halftime for the Gators, and it is again tonight.
You know the difference, Jim? I really feel in that game, UCLA was out of it. In this game, I don't feel Ohio State is out of it. When you take in consideration a couple things, Oden has been able to play 18 minutes. He has played against 3 people, but he's played extremely well. He is in a situation, he has held the 3, Richard, Noah, and Horford, to 2 for 10, only 8 points. But the problem now is to get some balance if you're Ohio State. They're just 2 for 12 from 3. Obviously, the big man is not going to play 36 minutes at this kind of productivity, and so somebody else from Ohio State is going to have to step up from the perimeter.
As you see, the in-game box score powered by CSTV, the 24-hour college sports channel from CBS Sports. And Billy, let's go to the shot charts.
Well, I think they're very evident tonight as to what's going on. And here's what I talked about from Ohio State. They have got shots from the outside. They have not been able to make them. So you can't count on Oden to carry the full load. Then when you take in consideration Florida, just the opposite. They've taken the ball to Oden inside to try to get fouls. They haven't. But because Oden is not coming out on the hedge move, Florida is getting some wide open looks from 3, and it's very effective.
Well, the Florida threes, Torian Green 2 for 2, Brewer 3 for 5, Humphrey knocking down that one right there. He's 1 for 2. And as we said, 6 out of 9, while the other side, the Buckeyes got 2 from Ivan Harris, and as a team, they were 2 for 12.
That's 18-6 from the perimeter. And I'll tell you one thing, if Oden is going to play the same way defensively, if I were Florida, I'd go ahead and set screens on Humphrey's man, and Humphrey will have so many wide open jump shots, and you know what he can do being the leader in NCAA history from 3. He could be a huge factor in the second half.
Now, when they met 100 days ago, Ohio State came out, this was down at Gainesville, and scored the first 9 of the second half. But also, a year ago, Humphrey, we saw it Saturday, he comes out ablaze to begin the second half, and Oden takes advantage right away with Horford on his back.
Surprising, nobody doubling down. I think that once Oden starts to make his move, he's not going to pass that ball out. He'll pass it out quickly, but very seldom after he starts his move. Florida may have to start doubling down on him.
Noah, big step to the basket and a soft shot, his first basket of the game.
Harris has no defense against Noah when he backs him down inside and use that little curl move. Look at this, Noah on Conley now, stays away from him.
Well, that's not a matchup you could have predicted.
Nope.
Now Lewis, outside the free throw line, hits the jumper.
Big shot for Lewis right there. Good step back jumper. Brewer normally pretty good at staying with the man on that, but was out of position there.
Harris tips it to Conley, up ahead Lewis. Watch out for the block. What a defender he is, but Lewis says, not this time.
That jump shot really helped Lewis a lot. First half, no activity from him at all. And Jim, prior to Saturday, he had 3 straight 20-plus point games. Huge lift for Ohio State. See, here's that play I'm talking about. If they do that for Humphrey, Humphrey's going to get a bunch of jump shots.
It's a jumper instead, Horford. Tipped out, again Harris.
Good block out.
Tips it over to Conley. Bounce pass inside to Harris. And the shot almost drops. That'll be the third on Noah.
Noah did not hustle back court. Harris did a tremendous job blocking him out on the other end, and then just hustled down court to get over. I thought that we might have an opportunity there to see a block on Lewis, but Brewer never attempted. Just like in the first half, look at Noah breathing so heavily, Jim. He gets so emotionally fired up that sometimes I think he just needs to sit down to get his second breath.
So Harris to shoot 2. Again, that's the third on Noah. Thad Matta, head coach of the Buckeyes, trying to become the youngest head coach to win a championship since, can you believe this? Jim Valvano, 1983.
Right, Branch McCracken, the all-time youngest, one leading Indiana with a championship when he was just 31 years of age.
Harris, 1 of 2. Brewer, so quick. Lewis may have shoved him, got away with it. Followed up by Richard.
Oden usually gets that rebound, but a good block out by Richard never allowed Oden to get to it.
First Florida dunk of the night, first basket for Richard. Coming off a 16 against UCLA.
Nice help by Horford, but nobody on Oden.
Harris had a great look there.
Should have
wild with the shot.
Should have passed it. Oden was wide open inside.
Brewer up quick with it. And Harris races down to the other end to get the board. Conley with Brewer trying to defend. Too strong tap, no.
Conley keeps it alive.
On the floor, it's Florida.
No numbers.
Brewer trying to create and a reach-in call coming up against Butler.
Here we see, now there you see that Odin Richards did such a great job. Boy, he is powerful at about 275 pounds. Odin doesn't run into many guys on the college level that are that strong. Richards just blows his man out. That's a foul.
He was wide open.
Oh, well, the reason he was.
I know, he shoved the guy, I was about to say.
Shoved him. He almost took Lewis's head off. But again, Billy Donovan willing to use some fouls by Richard.
That's 3 on Richard, 3 on Noah, so it's getting a little serious over there, Billy.
Yeah, but they're wanting to wear Odin down and hope that he picks up one of those push fouls.
Butler is off the screen.
Very tough shot.
And Brewer pulls it down.
How about his versatility?
Yeah, he just can go so many ways. He's a great ball handler. There's a hold on Lewis.
Grab the shirt. Brewer's got his shirt out now. Let's see if the referee makes him put it in.
Yeah,
there he did.
Exactly what he told him. Hodge comes back in.
You know, and it might have been the reason, Jim, for that foul. Brewer was trying to fight around, but the shirt got loose, and he just put his arm out and grabbed it.
My partner, Billy Packer, doing a good job with the fashion police. Officials as well. Horford. He looked right, now fires it. Got it.
Well, see, Odin is not going to come out. He's just going to camp down inside. Horford will get much more confidence on that shot, and he's going to start looking to take him. Comes the back end, but no double down. See this?
Horford blocks it. Odin the second time.
I'm really surprised from a scouting report. When Odin puts the ball on the floor, he is not going to then pass out. But Florida is not doubling down when he puts it on the floor.
Now the matchup at the other end.
Will he try to draw the foul?
You bet. Yep. Leaves his feet, blocks it. Odin just slapped it away, but on the floor, Horford saved it back. Richard now. Way outside. Humphrey hangs it in.
Oh, boy.